Hello, YouTube. Yarlius here, as my good friend Wicked likes to say. I've got a couple replays from a player on the Heir of Carthage Discord by the name of Ratman. He's picked Pestilence in this 2v2 against. Oh, is that Captain Awesome? I love Captain Awesome. I wonder if it's this. It might not be the same Awesome, because the Awesome I'm thinking of spells it AAHSUM. Anyway, let's check this out. He's promised me some Warpfire thrower action here, and he's got a full stack of 20. Nice. So he's got Skrulk, 4 Clan Rat Spears with Shields, 2 Clan Rats with Shields, 2 Plague Monk Censer Bearers, 2 Plague Monks, 6 Skaven Slave Slingers, the Warp Catapult thing, a Hell Pit Abomination, and Warpfire. Interesting. Skrulk is so tanky. I like him. I like him plenty. Got lots of woods on this map. This is L'Anguille, I believe. Or it might just be pronounced L'Anguille. Anybody who's versed in French can let me know. Looking at his opponent, Karl Franz, of course. We also have a Jade Wizard, an Inquisitor. I love Inquisitors. Spearmen without shields, 4 spearmen with, 2 halberdiers, 2 greatswords, 2 crossbowmen, and oh, what else did the Empire bring? Yeah, 2 crossbowmen, the Hellstorm Rocket Battery, a unit of Pistoliers, and another unit of Pistoliers, which they've decided to deploy deep. Oh, 30 unit of Pistoliers. They deployed them deep back in the woods, trying to hide their numbers. It'd be nice to see Pistoliers having a late game effect. I'd enjoy that a lot. We also have Doomfire Warlocks, Dark Riders with Shields. It's like 2 Black Orc Corsairs, 2 of the Sisters of Slaughter. Very low armor, a lot of damage potential. Blades of the Blood Queen, the Executioner's unit, a War Hydra, a Crone Hellebron on her Blood Cauldron, and the Sisters of Singing Doom, the Regiment of Renown Witch Elves. So too, do we have, we already talked about the Skaven army, which is deployed kind of all around. And we have a Lizardman ally, so we have a very dino heavy build. 2 Temple Guard, just one Kroxigor. We've got Krokgar on Grimlock. We have an Ancient Stegodon. We have 2 Bastillon Solar Engines. We've got Cold One Riders, and I think there was another one. Yes, we do. Oh, we have Horned Ones. So very, very small but powerful army for the Lizardmen. Real quick, before I forget, I'm going to go ahead and set up the cinematic smoothing. Here we go. Resume battle. Let's get this show on the road. Die, die, die. Hellstorm Rocket Battery already opening up on Skaven. Going straight for the Plague Claw Catapult. Who is going to return fire. But who are they targeting? Greatswords? Great target. Perfect target. It's exactly who you want to be shooting at. And I like that you're not all clustered together, and this Hellstorm Rocket Battery actually doesn't have a lot to target. They are going to go ahead and target the Plague Claw Catapults. And the Catapult is going to continue to punish these Greatswords. Oh, that time not so effectively, though. Oh man, look at that. Bastillon on a Solar Engine's getting a nice shot on the Black Orc Corsairs. Wouldn't have been my target. I think I would have been going for the Sisters of Slaughter or the Executioners if I had the choice. Just trying to punish. I always try to punish my opponent for making bold picks like Sisters of Slaughter. Low armor, you have range supremacy on them. Go ahead and tear them apart. Yeah, exactly. Here's the Skaven Slave Slingers pelting not the Sisters of Slaughter, but the Black Orc Corsairs. Never mind. Gave them too much credit. Anyway, here comes the Hell Pit Abomination. It's going to charge right into the Sisters of Slaughter. I would send it after the War Hydra or Crone Hellebron myself. But we're going to get some spells in here for sure. Let's go ahead and get a look at this engagement. The battle is joined. And it goes all the way on down the line. Actually, over here, the Pistoliers have come out of hiding and to beat up some Skaven slave slingers. Not at all surprised. These slingers are getting chased off, but they trying to do what they can to pepper the enemy skirmishers as well. Plagueclaw Catapult is still targeting those greatswords. Temple Garter now coming up into position, as well as the Croxagores really joining the infantry fight. Oh man, that Luminar, or no, that Bacillon Solar Engine said, "Screw that one spearman in particular." Look at that blood stain he became. Temple Guard are going to have a field day with this kind of cheap Empire infantry. Great swords are coming into support, and that's going to make a little bit of a difference. And they're actually getting a rear charge in as well from... No, that's not rear charging. That's just retreating Black Art Corsairs. I'd be very interested to see some War Hydra versus Hellpit action, but that Hydra's done. Krokgar's in here now. Krokgar's a good pick for Crone Hellebron on her Blood Cauldron mount. Anyway, we got a breath spell going on over here. A Plague Wind actually did some decent damage to those Dark Riders. Blake Monk's Censer Bearers did some decent damage to the Doomfire Warlocks. Now, I was promised... there they are. The Warpfire Throwers have opened up fire on... Looks like some Empire State troops. Let's see what kind of targets they can get their eyes on. There they are. Croxagores retreating through them. They're opening up fire on something. Looks like some more state troops, actually. Hard to see from here, that's for sure. Ooh, there we go, camera. Trying to put some damage on these state troops. Oh, man. I think those Warpfire Throwers are doing more damage to the Croxagores than anything else. Warpfire Throwers have found a new target. Yeah, just toasting up these Empire troops. They've now got the attention of the... breath attack from the War Hydra. Goes right across the Horned Ones, but the Horned Ones are shrugging it off and continuing their attack. Looks like the Hellstorm Rocket Battery is actually targeting an Ancient Stegodon. Not the best pick, but the Stegodon, I bet you, is actually returning fire, because it does have a Ballista on board, I do believe. Not this one. This one actually just has lots of blow dart guns on it. Slay, kill. Alright, 2.5 more minutes of this, but basically, the Skaven and Lizardman alliance here has kind of broken through this flank over here. And there's still some state troops left on this side as the Dark Elf player kind of tries to fall back in here. Which is pretty fascinating, because what we just watched was superior Lizardman infantry holding off the Empire long enough for a combined force of dinosaurs and rats to chase out the low-armored Dark Elf infantry. Black Art Corsairs with only... Let's see here. No, that's Temple Guards. Yeah, well, they do have 80 armor. I mean, that's nothing to shrug at. But the Sisters of Slaughter, however, not a good choice as far as like frontline duty. The Blades of the Blood Queen, they should have done just fine. And oh wow, they're point blank shots at Karl Franz as he tries to take on Krokgar on Grimlock. And there is no, in my opinion, there is no better anti-large lord than Krokgar on Grimlock. Oh, look at this. Sisters of the Slaughter have said they've had enough of the Warpfire Throwers. And the Skroak did try to send in some Clan Rat reinforcements, and Krokgar was wise to the effort and has routed them off. That's great for the Warpfire Throwers, but they're in a sad state right now but they do have 55 kills, which is good for them. They've been toasting up some infantry, but here we go, some more shots. Do they land? Nope. Karl Franz stays just out of the reach of it. There's only a minute left here. Victory is already in the grasp of the Allies. Look at the Look at the artillery of the Lizardmen just hammering all of these units. The Inquisitor's still in here. Managed 19 kills. Good for it. And the Hellstorm rocket battery just had the wrong target selected. Regardless of that rocket just, like, bringing down a Kroxigor. It should have been targeting infantry blobs the whole time. Speaking of targeting infantry blobs, Warpfire throwers doing exactly what they should. Those halberdiers are a perfect target for them. Soften them up for this dinosaur charge. Look at that. Karl Franz is like, you know what? I regret my decisions. I'm getting out of here. And that's going to end the battle. Really cool replay of that, but he sent me one more. And that's going to be this one right here. This one's a 1v1. Skaven versus Dwarves. I like this a lot. I like that kind of matchup. Artillery versus artillery action, perhaps. Let's look at our Scaff 7000 army. So, Thorgrim Grudgebearer, a runesmith with all 3 runes. Miners with blasting charges. 4 Longbeards. Yeah, I think that's a solid choice. Longbeards with sword and board. They're a good match to any Skaven infantry. Dragonback Slayers, 2 Quarrelers with great weapons, both with 1 experience chevron, 1 Thunderer with the chevron, 1 Trollhammer Torpedo Iron Drake, a Gyrocopter with Brimstone Gun, a Goblobber, I believe, and why are those 2 on opposite sides of this? Okay, so there's actually 2 Thunderers with XP chevrons. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and double check that. It looks like the Gyrocopter was trying to... Maybe he just didn't get to deploy it in time, but that's okay. It's a fast-moving unit, and maybe he wants to go ahead and sweep those woods just to make sure that the Skaven player didn't forward deploy anything right out there. But yes, we have 2 Thunderers and the Iron Drake Trollhammer Torpedo, and then the 2 Quarrelers. These actually are not the Great Weapon variant. I got that wrong. All in all, I think this is a pretty solid pick. He's a very leadership-heavy infantry corps, using Thorgrim Grudgebearer for support, the Runesmith for support. The Longbeards themselves buff up the morale of the infantry. And I'll show you that right here. Old Grumblers, respected for their great age, superior courage, and the length of their facial hair, the Longbeards have an encouraging effect on their allies' leadership should the Lord be absent. Alright, so our Skaven player has gone with a similar army the last time, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Skaven slave spears out on the flanks. And a central core of, let's see here, 1, 2 clan rats with shields, 4 clan rat spears, no shields this time, 2 plague monk censer bearers, absolutely, 2 plague monks, warp fire throwers, Lord Skrulk, Hell Pit Abomination, and the Plague Claw Catapult. Already, the Goblobber, or the, not the Goblobber, but the Grudge Thrower is already trying to open up fire on the enemy. I wonder what he's targeting. I did see him launch up some... he's going straight for the Skaven Slave Slingers. I mean, yeah, I would actually probably be going for the Plague Monk Censer Bearers. This is probably the best anti-armor unit that that the Skaven player has brought. I'd be targeting them for sure. Yeah, but your Quarrelers, that's the right target. Absolutely. These Iron Drake's Trollhammer Torpedoes, they're at risk of getting overrun if the Skaven player decides to push this flank of the Dwarven position heavily. And the Skaven Slave Slingers can get some damage done, though they do have 125 armor. They can get some damage done. I would go ahead and I'd pull them back just a little bit. You need those Trollhammer Torpedoes for the Hell Pit Abomination. And where has it gone? Is it hiding in the woods? Yes, it is. That is not the target for the Goblobber. The Goblobber, or any Grudge Thrower, really, should be targeting, I'd say, the Plague Monk Censer Bearers or the Plague Monks in general. Skrulk is already under attack, a little bit too far forward. But hey, it's nothing that they can't handle. Alright, the Thunderers have opened fire. Great positioning, allowing him to shoot through the gaps in the line. Plague Thrower, I think you should have been going after some Longbeards before you got there, personally. And there goes the blasting charges onto Skrulk. That was unfortunate for the miners. They should have had It should have been put on, taken off of fire at will, and then used for something like sensor bearers, or because they only have 10 armor. They would have been great targets for that. So here comes the Runesmith to put in some rune support against Skrulk, and Thorgrim is going to be used to try and chase off some of these Plague Monk. Oh, the Plague Monk sensor bearers have isolated the Trollhammer torpedoes, and that might be an early outro for them, as the Warpfire thrower at the center is already cooking up some dwarf infantry. Let's go ahead and take a look at these poor Dawi as they get plague monked. Yeah, it's a very punishing barrage that they're taking. And the Dawi player is trying to use his Correlers to help save these guys, and he's even sent over a unit of Longbeards, but I think this is just too late. I think it's just too late for the Trollhammer torpedoes. They may come back later on. There's still 11 models in the unit. They could play a role in the later stage, but let's go ahead and see. Yeah, so our Hell Pit Abomination is now broken through. This is an anti-large unit, so it isn't going to have very many targets in the Dawi army, but what it can do is act like a chariot. It could just hit these units, pull out, hit another one. Pull out, hit another one, and sure enough, that's exactly what this one's doing, and the Warpfire thrower is toasting up some Thunderers. Fantastic shots there. And that's a good blob hit for the Plague Monk Catapult, and more Warpfire thrower directing its attention to the Thunderers. Let's just go ahead and take a look and appreciate the glory of this battle from the perspective of the Skaven. Dragonback Slayers? How about Warpfire back Slayers? Flay to cost. Skrulk giving out the orders. Ooh, what was that? That's a horn. That's the Horned One itself has come to the battlefield, spewing out more Skaven rats. I have no idea what just happened there, but man, did it look epic. Skrulk, that was fantastic. I'm not too familiar with the with Skrulk spells. I know the basics, like beautiful flank shots into these Longbeards, and some friendly fire against clan rats and clan rat spears. But frankly, who cares? I like the idea of bringing Skaven slaves and clan rats, and then several warp fire throwers, because what do you care if you cook up a few of your clan rats or your Skaven slaves? Thorgrim taking some shots while he's on his way over to try and deal with the Hell Pit Abomination is really hurt, actually, going against these Dragonback Slayers. And Thorgrim is probably going to be enough to turn this in the tide of the Dawi. The Hell Pit gets away, and Thorgrim's trying to 1v1 with the help of the Dragonback Slayers, Lord Skrulk. But there's plenty of rats where this came from, and yeah, sure enough, here comes yet more. And the Slingers are in position now, just pelting Thorgrim and the Slayers. The Warp Fire Throwers are wisely targeting Longbeards, just trying to bring them down. They have a significant armor difference, though. 100 points of armor, so they're going to do less damage. But let's see what they can do if there's a point-blank shot in this. No, it doesn't look like it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so yeah, some decent damage per shot, even with that high armor. So let's look at the ammunition and what it does. It does have magical attacks, which makes a difference for sure. But the weapon damage burns them for -8 leadership, which is fantastic. Has 3 armor-piercing damage base, explosive base damage of 20, explosive armor-piercing damage of 7, and 4 shots per volley. Oh! Plague Claw Catapult. How is it doing over there, by the way? It looks like the gyrocopters are trying to eliminate that Plague Claw Catapult, but it already has 61 kills anyway. The gyrocopters with brimstone guns, I hope, are trying to actually kill the Hell Pit Abomination before it can do any more damage. Thorgrim's done. The Runesmith's done. There's still some Thunderers and stuff in the background. This battle is essentially over. We can go ahead and fast forward it, but look at these Warp Fire Throwers as they try to do something about Thorgrim Grunchbearer as he retreats. Actually, now they're targeting over here, just cooking up some more retreating Longbeards. They'll be good for roasting later. Oh, the gyrocopter charging in here. Let's see what the Warpfire throwers can do about this. Slinger support, however, the gyrocopter with brimstone gun is going to have to retreat here. But that's essentially the end of the battle. There you go. Look at that. That was fun. Well done, Ratman. I like seeing Warpfire throwers. I think you can upgrade your army list to include 2 of them. And you bring some more trash infantry, and you just don't care what happens to your trash infantry. Throw them into, the mid to lightly armored units of your enemy to hold them there, and then just open up with a warp fire, maybe even a crossfire with a warp fire from 2 different angles, and just cook everything. What do you care if you lose some Skaven slaves in the process? I mean, they're not gonna hold anything large still, but they can probably hold some infantry still. This would be great against like Norska, because most of the Norscan infantry is really low armor. Grab them with a couple of Skaven slaves and then just let loose the warp fire throwers. That'd be fantastic. Anyway, let's go ahead and look at the battle accounting. 46 kills for Lord Skrolk, 26 on the Hell Pit Abomination, 63 for the Plague Claw Catapult, and 48 for the Warp Fire Thrower. This Plague Monks with 84 and 75 on the Censer Bearers over here. But they did a lot of the good Horned Ones' work by chasing out those Iron Drake Trollhammer torpedoes before they could do anything. And again, that was poor positioning on the part of the Dawi player. I think as soon as I saw that there was only one large unit on the field from the enemy, I would have moved them to a more central position to fend off the Hell Pit Abomination. Had those Iron Drakes been in that middle engagement, that Hell Pit Abomination would have died a lot sooner than it did. And then Skrolk would have been left mostly alone to deal with things like Runesmith, Thorgrim, Dragonback Slayers, and Thunderers even. So, yeah, and also, I mean, the Grudge Thrower, I don't think was making the right target acquisition the whole time, which was also unfortunate. But much to be learned. Ratman, that was fantastic. Thank you very much for submitting those on the Heir of Carthage Discord. I hope everybody had a great evening, and I'll see you next time.